As the volunteer coordinator for my club, I know how hard it can be to get enough people to take on roles within the club to keep it running effectively. When someone volunteers, it can be really tempting to simply say yes before they change their mind and get them involved straight away. Whilst this is a quick solution, it could cause challenges within the club longer term. This could have a negative impact on your members, be stressful for your committee and the volunteer themselves. I do understand that a recruitment process can sound really formal, and you may worry that it could put people off helping out. But if put across in the right way, it can be seen as a really positive way of bringing a new person into a club. I found that it can make volunteers feel safer and more supported, which could lead to better retention. So what would a recruitment process look like? Firstly, I find it really useful to have a brief description of the main duties involved in a role. This can simply be a bullet point list that gives the potential volunteer a clear idea of what you're asking of them. It would also be useful to give information about who will be there to support them, showing that they're going to be supported from the outset. Not only encourages people to get involved, but can also act as a deterrent for people who may be looking to volunteer for the wrong reasons. When someone shows an interest in volunteering for the club, I take time to meet with them. I use the time to find out what their skills and interests are, if they've volunteered before, and why they're interested in volunteering at the club. Usually by the end of this conversation, we've found a role within the club where they could be the best help. I then explain that as part of the club's recruitment process, we ask new volunteers for a reference. When I first started asking, I worried that this would put people off, but by explaining that the club takes the welfare of all its members seriously, including them as a volunteer, I found that there's a good level of understanding. It's important to understand if the role they're undertaking requires a DBS check. England Athletics have provided information about the roles that require this. If the volunteer is taking on a coaching or officiating role, they will complete a DBS check as part of their training. I'll make sure this has been completed and is up to date. Once I'm satisfied the new volunteer is appropriate for the role, I provide them with the club's policies and procedures to give them the opportunity to ask any questions about these. I also ensure that the new volunteer meets key members of the club, including the welfare officer, chair and secretary, as well as anyone who they'll be working with on a regular basis. I also ensure they have a buddy who keeps in contact with them, particularly in the first few months. This also allows any concerns to be raised from either side and managed in a supportive way. Having a process to recruit volunteers might seem daunting at first, but it's a good way to help retain your volunteers as they're placed in a role suited to their skills and supported. It also gives you the confidence that you're doing what you can to safeguard all your club members, including the volunteers themselves. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and for your continued support in providing a safe environment for people to enjoy athletics.